Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I'm Agam Vakil. A pause after this kind of strength that we've seen in the benchmark indices. Today, benchmarks close flat and closing exactly where they shut shop yesterday, with the Nifty closing about the mark of 11,300. Does certainly defend that level. And in terms of gainers, we have NTPC, IndusInd Bank and Yes Bank. IndusInd Bank now catching up with the rest of its peers on a year-to-date basis as well, given the kind of weakness that we saw in that particular one. Not necessarily weakness, but underperformance. And of course, Yes Bank moving from strength to strength. We have Sun Pharma, Coal India, Indian Oil Corp and Bharti Airtel also advancing in trade. HCL Technologies, on the other hand, under pressure, down 2%, followed by Hero MotoCorp, Ultratech Cement and Tata Motors. On the broader markets, well, again, not unlike yesterday, the advanced decline ratio on the NSE 500 is 2:3. We have Indocount Industries advancing by as much as 10%, followed by NBCC, Phoenix Mills, All Cargo Logistics, PC Jeweler and Indiabulls Real Estate advancing by over 6%. Reliance Capital is under pressure, down 8.4%, and we're going to talk about that in a little more detail in just a bit. We also have more weakness in several other ADAG companies, so Reliance Power down, Reliance Nippon Life, as well as Reliance Communications, all under pressure. But TeamLease Services now looking at a bout of profit taking, down 4%. On that note, I'm going to get in our markets editor, Neeraj Shah, for his perspective. Neeraj, what do you make of today's day of trade and your thoughts?
Not much. I mean, day of consolidation, you couldn't argue against this as well. Banks took a bit of a breather, you would have to say that, after the rollicking rally that we've had. So again, not unfounded. The interesting bit was volumes, though lower than average, still about 33,000 crores on the cash market done, which was pretty interesting. Right. The mid-caps didn't falter too much. Despite yesterday's gashes, the mid-caps didn't falter too much, so that's the other bit. But I guess the market meanders along based sometimes on other global markets doing well or not doing well, might have a day or two or otherwise, but almost everybody believes that if there is a correction, there is a shallow one. We speak to Gautam Shah in the morning, right, and gotten a few calls right. He was saying that if there is a correction, there is a shallow one. And then it gets bought into as well. The mood is very sanguine right now, as flows have shown as well. So I guess we take it at that. Otherwise, in terms of news flow, I don't think too much until the first weekend of April or the first week of April, where we have the policy and maybe that gives further triggers. But otherwise, maybe just dance to global tunes and the momentum continues.
Okay, well, Neeraj, thank you for that perspective there. And we keep an eye on several of those factors that Neeraj has spoken about, specifically with respect to the first week of April. But let's talk about a few stocks then. And I'm going to start off with an ADAG company right here. We have Reliance Capital, Reliance Infra actually, which will be in focus. And we have Nikki Michandani, who's joining us to give us an update on the same. Nikki, some updates where Reliance Infra, of course, has declined by as much as 3.7% today, but some positive news?
Yeah, actually a positive news, but then if you look at the reaction of ADAG stocks, they're all negative.
Yes.
The company has inked a pact with Q by Highways for selling its Delhi-Agra toll road project for an enterprise value of around 3,600 crore, which includes an equity value of around 1,700 crore. Adding to it is NHAI claims of 1,200 crore. Net, the value is coming at 4,800 crore, which is expected to bring down the debt of the company by a little more than 25%. Right now, the debt position currently stands at around that 17,000 crore mark. Effectively, however, if you look at the data, you would realize that the equity value, the debt will just come down by 10%. Which is not substantial given the kind of debt we're seeing for the whole ADAG group companies. Also, Reliance Infra particularly sitting with a debt of around 17,000 odd crore. Also, the press release remains largely silent on the way the transaction is going to be concluded, rather the timeline on which the transaction could be concluded. Effectively, any news coming in on ADAG stocks not taken well by the market, even if it's positive, even if it means that the debt is going to come down, you still see the stocks being hammered down in trade.
Well, it's a wait and watch, Nikki. I'm sure the ADAG group as a whole needs to resolve a lot of issues, so perhaps small positives may not be taken into stride. But Nikki, thank you for joining us and taking us through those updates as far as Reliance Infra is concerned. But let's talk about two other stocks which are also in focus and also buzzing in action. And we have Sharad Dubey to tell us about those. Sharad, what do you have for us?
Yes, in the mid-cap space, basically two stocks were buzzing in. First stock is eClerx Service. The stock was up by almost 5% in And if we see the graph over here, this is the highest level seen in almost 5 months. And this is basically on the news that the board has approved a share buyback of around 16.5 lakh shares with a buyback price set at around 1600 rupees, aggregating to around 262 odd crore rupees. And Agam, we need to see the promoter stake, which is at around 50% for this company. The stock really reacted quite positively. The second stock is Deep Industries. Throughout the day, it managed to be on the 10% mark. If you can see, it's the highest levels seen in almost 11 months and strengthening it for the third straight session after it received a letter of award for around 92 odd crore rupees from ONGC for mobile dredging plant in Gujarat. So basically, this is the second order, Agam, and this will actually add up around 182 odd crore rupees. Apart from this, apart from the listed space, we also have the BSE, the exchange, which has come out with the news that the board is expecting to get a dividend as well as, share buyback, which is slated to be on May 7th. So because of that, the stock did increase by around 3.5% in the day, but it ended a bit down by around 1% today. So I think these three stocks were really definitely buzzing in the space today, Agam.
Yeah, okay. Sure, thank you for bringing us those details. So we watch out for that as well. Some of these stocks which are moving in the mid-cap space. And well, that is the area which is a buzz at this point in time. And on that note, it's a wrap on the markets. But lots more lined up. Stay tuned to Bloomberg Quit and we keep bringing you more.